If you're starting to work out, you might want to try this. And I'm talking about a body recomposition. There's a lot of myths and jazz out there talking about how it doesn't work. It's definitely possible though, and I've done it in my own life to go from skinny fat to more muscular. And when done correctly, a body recomposition is a great option because it allows us to burn fat and build muscle at the same time, which is all most people really need to get that lean physique they want. However, to make sure we're not wasting our time, we need to do a few things right. So this is how. And the process is quite simple. We just have to have a small calorie deficit to break down stored fat while challenging ourselves with some form of resistance training. That way our bodies can use calories from that fat and our protein intake to help us grow muscle and get leaner. But how well this works is going to depend on the person. The two main factors that determine its effectiveness is training experience and body fat percentage. It's best for new lifters, overweight individuals, detrainees, and for people who have been lifting for a little bit but haven't been pushing themselves in the gym as much as they should. This group of people will see the most benefits from a body recomposition, whereas a skinny individual or a lean and experienced person, they're not going to see as many benefits, so they should probably just stay away from this and focus on bulking, depending on what their goal is. It doesn't work for everyone, however it can be very beneficial, especially for people who are skinny fat, overweight, and if you haven't been working out for a while or you haven't really been consistent with it, a body recomposition could be a great idea. And to get the most out of it, you just need to focus on a few things. Exercising correctly and consistently is crucial for this process. Without progressive overload and pushing ourselves with more resistance or more challenging movements, we won't see the results we desire. That's why we hit the weights or do calisthenics to help us build muscle. So focus on building up weight or resistance over time with the proper technique to stimulate muscle growth and get stronger overall. If you really just start taking your training a little bit more seriously and making it a little bit more intense in terms of trying to get to that next level, I guarantee you'll see a lot more changes to your body and your overall strength as well. Don't do high rep workouts as it will be hard to reach true muscular failure and will be training more of your endurance. Instead, do workouts in a lower rep range and train for more strength, power, and hypertrophy with a focus on pushing to failure. You also want to switch up your workouts to hit the muscles in different ways and avoid hitting those plateaus. And you can also add in a form of cardio if you'd like to burn some extra calories. However, I wouldn't make it too intense as it might interfere with your workout and increase your appetite. Our resistance training is going to be more important than our cardio, so if you want to add in extra cardio, you can. However, you're going to want to focus on your training as that's where you're going to see the muscle growth and that's where the results are going to come from. And at the end of the day, it's a lot easier to eat less food than it is to burn more calories. That's why when it comes to shredding off that excess fat, we just want to eat in a calorie deficit, but also strength train. That way we're kind of replacing it. Which brings us to diet, which is pretty important. And for the body recomposition, we're gonna need to eat in a small calorie deficit. You can't do a body recomp eating maintenance calories, and you can't do a recomp in a calorie surplus. It's not possible because we need to be in a deficit for fat loss to occur. However, to maximize the muscle we can grow, we need that surplus to be small. As the bigger it gets, the more effect it has on the muscle we can grow. I would aim for 100 to 500 calories below your maintenance. And if you have a higher body fat percentage, you're gonna wanna aim for the higher end of that number. And if you have a lower body fat percentage, you're gonna wanna have that smaller calorie deficit. Protein, this one's important, especially during a body recomposition, we really wanna focus on this. We wanna have a high intake of protein while we're trying to build muscle while cutting. A good target to shoot for is 1 gram per pound of body weight, and you can go higher than that and eat more protein if you want to as well. To get to that daily number, I would recommend having a form of protein in every single meal. And another thing you can do is invest in some form of whey protein, and that's gonna help you get to your goal as well. If you're not gonna do that though, and you don't wanna do all that tracking jazz, then just try to be more observant of what you're eating on a daily basis and try to find ways you can improve and substitute out those calorie-dense foods for better options, and just be mindful of your weight. And just because something's not optimal, like that system I just mentioned, doesn't mean it won't work for someone. So just try to find what works for you, and if you're pushing yourself in the gym every day and trying to improve your diet, you're gonna see results. A body recomp is something that just happens naturally. As we work out, we build muscle, and as we eat in a deficit, we burn fat. And it's not something we can control. We can just do the right things to maximize its effectiveness, and that's about all. I would recommend tracking your progress though, whether it's tracking your workouts or tracking your meals. Just seeing what you're doing on a consistent basis is gonna help you improve upon it. And you should even take before pictures because just seeing the progress that you're gonna make, it's gonna help you stay motivated, it's gonna help you see the progress that you're making. And it also kind of gives you a little competition to beat, like, oh, I'm gonna beat my past self. Maybe don't go as far as I go. I kind of have a weird obsession with before and afters. But tracking your progress is the best habit you can develop to become more fit. And another thing to help you with this process of getting more muscle and getting leaner would be supplementation. The only one I would recommend is the one that's most tested and the most awesome, and that's creatine. And there's no like magic drug that's gonna make you get jacked, but the closest one to it is creatine. Well, probably steroids, but other than that, creatine because it's like healthy and safe and tested. I remember looking at my body just going boop, boop, boop. Depending on your situation, body composition might be great for you, but just remember that's gonna take a little bit of time, so be patient. It's kind of a process as you're turning your body from fat to jacked. And it's really cool how you can make a change by just making the right decisions for a certain amount of time, and you'll see that you get exactly what you put into it if you just stick with it for a long enough time. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments below or anything that's helped you. But anyways, maybe check out my website. I'm trying to save up for a toaster. Have a great day though. Peace.
Been saving every penny for to make up through the fall.